So this is starting to get, it's more than pathetic. It's actually starting to get annoying. Republicans and even seemingly some reporters continue to try to shame Joe Biden and really also his press secretary, Jen Psaki, under the guise of unity and bipartisanship into accepting a tiny package from Republicans on COVID relief. And it just seems like Groundhog's Day at this point. Every day, Jen Psaki is having to tell reporters, no, I don't want this tiny package from Republicans. She's rejecting the imposition of this tiny package every single day that she takes questions. So let's take a look at some clips here. Here is Jen Psaki explaining the risk isn't a package that's too big. The risk is that we do a package that's too small, going through all the trouble of getting something passed, and then it's too small. That's the real risk, and we don't want that.
It's an exchange of ideas, an opportunity to do that. This group obviously sent a letter with some outlines, some top lines of their concerns and their priorities, and he's happy to have a conversation with them. What this meeting is not is a forum for the president to make or accept an offer. So I think that's important to convey to all of you. And his view, it remains what was stated in the statement last night, but also what he said on Friday, which is that the risk is not that it is too big, this package. The risk is that it is too small. And that remains his view, and it's one he'll certainly express today.
Then again, a few days ago, asked about bipartisanship, why won't Joe Biden consider a smaller package? Why won't she consider a smaller package?
Democratic leaders on the Hill appear to already be eyeing reconciliation. We heard Leader Chuck Schumer today saying that they're moving ahead with or without Republicans. Does this undermine your calls for bipartisanship, and are you urging them to give this more time?
Well, we're all very close to this here, reconciliation and all the terminology in Washington. Everybody who's watching may not be. Reconciliation is a parliamentary process. It's a way to get legislation through. It's a way to get relief to the American people. The president wants this to be a bipartisan package, regardless of the mechanisms. Republicans can still vote for a package, even if it goes through with reconciliation. There's no blood oath anybody signs.
This is another good point. Just because Democrats might end up going through budget reconciliation to pass the COVID relief bill without initial Republican support, Republicans can still make the call to vote for it. And what I mean by that is Republicans can demand a tiny, tiny package as much as they want. And Jen Psaki can say, I don't want the tiny package. Joe Biden doesn't want the tiny package. And eventually Democrats might say it's the $1.9 trillion package. Just because Republicans opposed it during the discussion doesn't mean that after the fact, if that's what they ultimately get to vote on, they can't say, you know, a lot of my constituents actually like this. I am better off voting for the larger package rather than not, because I might have consequences with my constituents if I vote against this thing. Here's more from this week, again, about the size of the package. Jen Psaki is not willing to give any signal that Joe Biden will accept package size reduction. And I'm glad she's being clear about it.
Two others on that. You said in your statement that the scale of what must be done is large. Let's bottom line it. Mm-hmm. Is $618 billion considered large by the White House?
Well, I think our statement last night made clear that the president believes that the risk is not going too small, but going not big enough.
Again, with the small packages, what if it's too big? The issue is it being too small. And I have to tell you, in a sense, Democrats have already decided instead of doing $2,000 more, they want to do $1,400 more, which would combine with the $600 from December to total $2,000. That's already smaller than what was promised by Joe Biden right around the time of the Georgia elections. They've already conceded. And I think that this is important. Even coming to the table with $1,400 instead of $2,000 per person is already shrinkage, for lack of a better term, in terms of the package size. Here's another one from yesterday. Again, reporters playing to Republicans who say, oh, it's too big, it's too much money.
The president's bottom line is that this is a package. The risk here, as he has said many times, is not going too big. It is going too small. continues to be his belief, and that's why he supports the efforts by Leader Schumer, and Speaker Pelosi to move this package forward.
My sense is that this is not going to stop anytime soon. So as I've said yesterday, pass the larger package and do it with or without Republicans. If Republicans really want to vote no, let them say it's bad, let them vote against, and let them explain to their constituents why they didn't want to deliver a package of this size to them. And then constituents can decide, does this person really have my best interests in mind? And when it comes to the members of the House of Representatives, in under, what is it at this point? We're talking about 22 months. Insane, right? But in 22 months, those constituents can decide to either reelect or not their representatives who may reject the $1.9 trillion stimulus package. I think that for Democrats, this is very much a risk worth taking. And I would like to see them just say, this is enough. Joe Biden had the meeting. These 10 Republicans are obsessed with tiny packages, and that's all they kept proposing. Jen Psaki rejected the advances of the tiny package. Joe Biden doesn't. It's just time, guys. It's time. They've already delayed and they've already reduced the package size. I hate that this happened, but Democrats have already, they sort of negotiated against themselves. And what I mean by that is Joe Biden said, I support, and if Ossoff and Warnock win, we will immediately send out $2,000 checks. It didn't happen immediately, and they're only talking about $1,400. That's the negotiation. Democrats, as they often do, negotiating against themselves. That's it. No further negotiation. Let's move forward, pass it via budget reconciliation. There were questions about Joe Manchin. From what I've read over the last 24 hours, Joe Manchin is going to go for it. He will vote for the package. So it's time to do it. I would like to see it done within 24 hours. I don't think that's going to happen. Maybe 72, maybe 96. Let's stop this nonsense. Let me know your thoughts about it, package size and all. You can find me on Twitter at @dpakman. I want to take a second to tell you about one of our sponsors, S&H Masks. S&H Masks has everything you need when it comes to face masks and other protective gear for COVID-19, and they're giving my audience 20% off. S&H Masks is the company that I've personally been going to for face masks. I love and trust the products they sell, and that's actually why I reached out to them about being a sponsor. I've tried tons of different face masks this year, like many of you, and I still have not found a mask that is more comfortable or easier to breathe in than the washable cotton masks that they sell. It's made of a silky, lightweight cloth that feels great on the skin, has a convenient adjustable strap. They also have disposable cloth masks, which are really comfortable, as well as all of the other gear like face shields, alcohol wipes, no-touch infrared thermometers. And all of their prices are very reasonable. I also love S&H Masks because they've donated over 60,000 masks to healthcare institutions. They're an excellent company. Shipping is just $5 and shipping is free on orders over $150. You can get there by going to davidpakman.com/mask. The link is under this video, and you can save 20% on everything in their store when you use the coupon code DAVID.